All right, welcome back. Let's go over the win that I took on a NAS 100 today. Okay, so pretty much looking at the markets, we pretty much yesterday we went on a downtrend overnight. We pretty much came. We overnight we pretty much was just consolidating at this point. So if I drop down to a lower time frame like the 15 minute, well, yeah, let me drop down to the 5 minute actually. So I dropped down to the 5 minute time frame. Okay. So what do we got here on the 5 minute time frame? On the 5 minute time frame, we got consolidation since pretty much last night. So like we just came down, came down, came down. And then early in the morning, 3, 4, like look at all this consolidation, right? So at this point when the market opened up right around here, let me do like a replay. We go on the 1 minute. And let me do a replay. Mm-mm-mm. This is kind of taking too long. Let me go here and do the 15 minute actually. All right. I just want to get to the market open. Here we go. All right. Let me go back to the 1 minute. 1 minute is which I actually what I trade on. All right. So here it is. We got to the 1 minute pretty much like right before the market opens. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks atrocious. I don't even know if I'm a trade today. Right. So I'm just looking at this and I'm like, man, like pretty much what we got here, if I was to try and dissect this, we pretty much have a demand zone up in here. Every time price pretty much gets to the zone somewhere, somewhat, we end up going down. And I do know that I'll back out a bit. We got a supply zone roughly in this area. Every time price pretty much gets to this area somewhat, we end up going up. So I'm like, okay, we're looking like we got a chop. Do I want to play the chop? Probably not. I don't know. Felt a little bit. I'm like, man, I don't really know how this thing is going to work out. So what happened was the market opened up and the market shot down, right? So the market shot down, and I'm like, all right, we're obviously looking for sales in NAS today. I mean, we've been selling like crazy. We've been consolidating, unless price gets up above here and start taking out all these highs, and we pretty much get back into like no man's land. Like I'm talking like up in here, then I might start looking for buys, but looking for sales mostly on NAS. So once we get into this area, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be looking to actually take a sale because we're in a typically in a demand zone in a higher time frame. So I can start looking for my setup. The setup, the actual setup myself is confirmation that we're actually going down. It's more of a confirmation, not 100% confirmation, but it is on the confirmation side. So here it is. We came up, we shot up. This candle here, it finished out a little bit wicky, buyer's exhaustion. So here it is. We got the first sign of a retracement in the red candle. Now, this area right here is a area of supply, right? So up here you got supply, down here you got demand. I think I just said that backwards. But this area right here is the area of supply. We're wicking out. So here it is, another candle wick out. We're creating some resistance. So I'm automatically starting to really look at my setup. So what is my setup? Is the first candle in the opposite direction. I'm looking forward to engulf the previous candle. Okay, boom. So what happens is we got this candle, nice little setup here. As you can see, this is a clear line of rejection. It's a supply zone. So boom, we shot down. So at this point, what I did is I pretty much took this green candle and I draw a box around it. And also what I do is I just, that wick as well. And the only thing I'm waiting on now is price to tap back in my zone and take a sell down. Okay, so once price tapped back in the zone, I waited a little bit to see some type of rejection, and then it went short. So here it is. We got a boom, and pretty much a 1-to-1. So at this point in time, the way this candle finished, um, and the way the market was looking, I wasn't sure if this thing here was going to come to this zone, respect it, and treat it as if it was a demand zone, right? So if you look and see what I'm seeing here, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 candle wick on the bottom. And also what I'm seeing is I'm seeing this big green candle come in this red candle. And I'm like, well, what we could be looking at is price could come touch here and we can actually be shooting up. Because again, let me might I add you, this is what I'm looking at, right? Like I'm looking at this, there is no structure, there's pretty much a chop. And what I'm thinking, well, price already came down here, it can come back up. It didn't come all the way in the zone. We can just be doing a retracement and pop back up. So what I wanted to do is actually protect my capital and go ahead and get out the trade. Unfortunately, as you see, this joint cooked. So this is kind of what I wanted to what I wanted what I really want to fix a part of my strategy because of the account size. I can't do like how I normally do with the how I used to do with the other forex pairs, trade in London session, in Asia session, really London session. Is what I used to do is I would enter in twice, and I would have one trade go to a 1-to-1, and now my other trade I would bring to a break even, and I would let it ride. And as you see this way, what I would hit. So what I'm thinking about doing, I'm trading on the 1 minute. I'm thinking about dropping down to the 30-second time frame, but I really don't want to because in order to make the money I want to make, I'm gonna have to increase my lot size, and then based off my account, that's not happening. Which is the reason why I'm not entering in 2 trades per trade because of the account size and the lots with NAS. If you're going to have a 0.001, which is as low as you can go, then you go to a 0.002. And then I think I'm saying that right. I might be adding another zero in there, but you get the drift. So basically, I'm like, all right, let me just do 1-to-1s right now until I can get my count to where it's at, to where I can start, having a right, like letting a rider go. Because once, man, listen, once I can get a rider in this, like, yo, these setups be cooking for real. Like, yo, I'm cooking. So for right now, I'm just doing my 1-to-1s and just letting it build. So another part that I actually really had to address today is really with my psychology, and that's really what it's about, man. Once you get a profitable strategy, you really gotta know yourself, and you gotta fix some things with your strategy and how you think, along with knowing yourself and like what you're comfortable with. Because it's like this, everybody's different. Like the created players off of video games like Tekken or Mortal Kombat, right? Each player has their special thing, their special move, right? So like if you're using a character that has super strength abilities, it's no use to trying to do like quick agility moves like that. That doesn't make sense. You got to like, hey, your special your special your specialty is strength, so you do a strength move, and that works out for you. So that's kind of what you got to figure out as a trader. You got to figure out yourself, right? I wanted to, and it's what I was talking about last video. I wanted to be able to take multiple trades because my strategy, it cooks. I mean, it cooks like crazy. As you can see, I mean, we can have multiple successful trades using my strategy, right? However, what I realize is this exactly what I'm about to show you. So I'm looking at this trade, right? And I close and I'm like, crap, I missed out. Next time, I'm gonna just hold the trade, right? Okay, cool. With that being said, let's continue. So price hit the demand zone, and then what did we start to do? We started coming back up, right? Hit the demand zone, boom, started coming back up. So we back into the zone that I marked off, right? At one point in time, this price was resistance, and we start seeing price kind of responding to this area again, right? So what started happening? We start to get some candles that's a little bit smaller, more wickier. So boom. So here we are with another setup. All right, so we got another setup. And what I do is I go ahead and mark out this. So I always include this wick and I mark it out. Right. So I'm looking for a price to come and tap my zone. Unfortunately, price never tapped me in again. All right, so at this point, okay, I'm looking at this. Let me go back a bit. So at this point, I'm looking. Wait. So at this point, I'm looking right here, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking at all these candles, and this is a clear sign that price is about to shoot. Like you see the body, we kept stopping here, which is a support zone here, right? And I'm being very careful because again, this is what we're looking at. We're inside the chop. I do not I do not want to trade inside the chop. However, I was able to actually read the market today, like because this came up and we came down, right? This is up here. It's the top. What do you do at the top? You sell. This is the bottom. What you do at the bottom? You buy. However, the overall trend is sell. So I'm only focused on sales. I'm waiting till we get to the supply zone, and I'm waiting on my setup. This zone right here was, close. I was able to read the market. We're wicking. It's obvious that price started going down. Plus, the setup that I have has an engulfing candle. Okay, boom. Now we're right here. So this right here, we're kind of we're kind of closer to buying. Honestly, this right here, if I can go back, the zone is right here. I wouldn't have took a trade. I would have waited till price come. Maybe we bounce back. Maybe we break through. But this trade right here, this is what I looked. I looked. I'm like, all right, boom, right. This is the last candle. This candle pretty much got engulfed. Um, or was it this candle? I can't remember. I think it was actually this candle. I think it was this candle. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm looking for a green candle get engulfed by a red candle. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so this is what happened. This doesn't even make sense. I didn't even follow my strategy here, man. And this is what I'm saying. Okay, this is the whole point. Look at this. So I got this green candle, right? This green candle finally gets engulfed, right? Well, somewhat by this red candle, but here's a whole candle here, and this is the reason why if I get another like if I'm going down and I got a green candle, it finally gets beat by red. If I got a green candle in there, I'm not going to go off of this candle. I'm going to go off of this candle, right? Look what happened, man. We got price came down, and I mean, look at that. You see this? Like, look at this. Do you see the space here? I was that close from being stomped out of the trade. So here it is. You had my psychology. If I would have held, I would have got a monster profit. Here it is. This happens. I don't know. I guess I got desperate. I really didn't follow my plan. This happens, and I'm holding like an idiot, and I almost get stomped out. And then guess what? As soon as price pulled back, thank God it did, pulled back, got back here to break even. Guess what I did? All right, price. I think it was this candle or this candle. Price got back, went down here a little bit, and as soon as it started retracing back, I closed the trade. And then guess what happened? Price went down for a nice profit, right? Price went down for a nice profit. So what I'm learning is even though I have a profitable strategy, the psychology part is what I got to use to. And I also have to acknowledge my actual psychology in the way I am. There's no way I can trade multiple times because again, it's like, hey, had I actually ended this trade earlier, I missed out on profits. Had I actually ended this trade, I would have, I held onto this trade. Now I almost get stomped out. And then here, this trade installed a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out, because this is a nice trade right here to the downside, but it never came back. So once I saw this, I'm like, all right, let me force it. And I think this what happened. I forced the trade, and I almost got stumped out. I almost took an L. But I was able to pretty much get out with like a minor loss, not too much, right? So far, I'm sitting here. I won once, and I just lost this one, right? So according to my rules, I got one more trade in me. And then what happened is later on, I ended up taking a 1-to-1 trade, and able to come out on top today. And this is pretty much the thing. It's like just because you actually have a a profitable strategy, you still have to address the psychology within yourself, and that's pretty much what I have to address. And I think the solution that I'm going to do is I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to wait on my setup, and I'm going to take my one-to-one trade, and that's it. Right? If this happens to me, then that's it for the day. Because what can happen is that I cannot actually psychologically be thinking right. I can get some FOMO in me. I can start holding on to stuff I shouldn't hold on because I'm thinking about the last trade. And the golden rule of trading is the last trade has absolutely no association with the current trade, and the current trade has no association with the future trade, and so forth and so on. So that's pretty much what I'm be doing is I'm pretty much just going to be doing one trade, and that's it. I'm one and done, right? Because even though my setup happens multiple times, like let's just see, I stopped trading at 11:30. So let's say right here. How many times has my setup happened for a sale, right? So let's say this, even though this is a setup, right? Somewhat, this would have been a loss. I wouldn't have took this trade because we're in a chop. And the thing about a chop, once we get to this area, I'm only taking sales from up here, right? So what happens is, okay, let's see. How many times does a red candle get pretty much taken over by a green candle? Excuse me, how much time a green candle gets taken over by a red candle? So we got this right here, right? I don't think I would have took a trade. Let me, you know what? Let me do a select bar just so it's easier. Okay, so I'm looking right here. Would I have took a trade right here? Let's see. All right, would I have took a trade right here? No. Why? Because we got to get a little bit more up here, right? Um, there's just not enough confluences. I mean, we got this right here, so it's like this is not even proof to me that we actually broke down here to the downside. So I would not took a trade here. All right, so would I look to take a trade here? Yeah, boom, I would have got in. I would have looked totally. So here it is. We got a green candle right here, right? We finally, boom, candle touched in. Let me go short at this point, and let's see if we can get a 1-to-1. Boom, 1-to-1 already hit. So that was a successful trade because again, my strategy for right now is just to get a 1-to-1. Is this thing still recording? I think this thing is still recording. Okay, cool. Yeah, still recording. So my whole strategy here is just to be able to get a 1-to-1. I think this thing is still recording. Man, I hope so. I would really, really look crazy. But let's keep going. My whole strategy here is just to get a 1-to-1, and then that's it. I would love to, at this point, have another trade, move to break even, and let's see what will happen, right? Okay, I would have got stomped down and break even, but I did get a 1-to-1. So trade come by, stomp me out, boom, start going up. So let's see. All right, so here's another trade I 100% would have looked to got into. Boom. Because that wick right there, that's the reason why I do it. What is 100%? Save my ass. Just go short. So at this point, and this candle right here, I actually probably would have passed on this trade because I don't like how I like for a candle to touch my zone and just start going. If this candle closed like this, I would not have took this trade. Instead, I would have waited for the next candle to pretty much this candle to get engulfed. All right, boom, there we got. So that candle get engulfed. What I would do is I would now draw my zone here, and I'll wait for price to come back, tap me in. All right. So this technically would be a loss. It depends on how this candle. I mean, I really wait for candles to kind of close. I most likely would have got stomped out here, but technically this is a loss. This is a demand zone, so I would count that as a loss, right? Here it is. We got another trade here. This is a green candle. It gets overtaken by a red candle. As you can see here, this is exactly what I like to see. A plus setup. how this his thing right here closed. But I wouldn't wait till it closed. I would just wait for it. I'll wait for it, kind of look and see what it does. Um, so boom, boom, 1 to 1. TP already hit. Got my 1 to 1. And as you can see, I would have ate. I mean, boy, I would have been able to really do it. All right. So here's another setup. I don't like this engulfing. It's too much. Maybe this candle right here, but this candle is too little. Necessarily. I mean, I could have draw a box around here once it's tapped me in, but again, the way it is closed, I wouldn't have took it. And that's pretty much the trading day. So far in this trading day, I pretty much had one. I had I had one. This setup didn't happen. I had one, two, three wins and one loss. So 3 wins and one loss. So it's a profitable strategy. I just can't wait till I can really start doing more of it for multiple entries. And that's the trade for today.